And now to the south-south region of the country. It's the third day of a lockdown in Bayelsa State, which recorded its index case of COVID-19 on Sunday night and thereby effected a week-long lockdown the following day. Those exempted include essential services workers, pharmaceuticals, and food supply sellers in Bayelsa. In the meantime, the 49-year-old patient has received the results, which was done at the Bayelsa Specialist Hospital in Yenagoa. Now, joining us on News Across Nigeria to expatiate on the issues is the Executive Governor of Bayelsa State, His Excellency Diri. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
Now, could you give us some sort of inkling of what happened with this index case?
Well, as I said that day, the patient had no travel history. She had some, uh, she had a history rather of various sicknesses, and she went to hospital, the specialist hospital, by herself, and she was admitted there. And other query of COVID-19 and symptoms taken, tested, not only herself, five others, but hers turned out to be positive. And so that was the case. But she had a complicated situation because she already had hypertension, she had stomach, she had ulcer, and other kinds of complicated situations.
I understand that the patient rejected the results. Is there going to be a repeat test done?
Well, as I said in my press briefing the following day, that's a scientific test. And the only basis you can reject that test is that you also go through another test and confirm that she is not positive. For now, the result is positive, and we cannot reject it until otherwise.
Latest, Your Excellency, on the hospital visited by the patient, as per the staff that had contact with the case, are they in isolation?
Can you repeat that, please?
The hospital where the patient was treated, are the nurses and the frontline workers there being placed on isolation?
Immediately, and the hospital itself has been closed down, and contamination exercise carried out, and all contacts about the patients have been traced.
Now, tell us about the lockdown order. It's now in its third day. How is compliance from the people of Bayelsa State and enforcing the lockdown?
Yesterday was almost 100% compliance. If you know, nobody wants to die, and with the index case we had, everybody was afraid, and yesterday we had almost 100% compliance. Uh, Today, the compliance is still very high, though not as much as yesterday. And people have started coming out anyway for purposes of essential services and food. So the compliance is encouraging and satisfactory.
Governor, one of the main concerns of your peers, other governors across the states, is the closure of the borders. Cases of COVID-19 imported into their states. They cannot control the number of people that are coming in illegally where the borders are closed. What are you going to do concerning this? Any plans to close borders with neighbors, Rivers, or the Elsa state? Or
In fact, that has been our savior. We were about the first to effect the closure of our borders with our neighboring states, Rivers and Delta states. And those were preventive measures that we undertook. And that, I believe, was part of why we we didn't have any index case from the beginning until recently, or sorry, until lately. So our borders still remain closed to all our neighboring states. Our maritime domain borders also remain closed. And I believe that that's working out for us.
Your Excellency, how long do you intend to continue with the lockdown order?
Yeah, we have taken a 1 week. A 1 week. That's beginning from Monday, just a day before yesterday, and we are believing that at the end of the 1 week we will review the situation, and after reviewing it, if it is abating, then we will open up our borders. If it is not, if there are other signs to the negative, or sorry, to the positive, we will also decide and then take decisions for the interests of the health of our citizens.
And speaking of your citizens and the citizens of Bayelsa, what about palliatives for the people where they can't earn money and they can't get food to eat, for those who fall into that category?
Whilst we closed our borders, we also started the issues of palliatives long even before the index case on Sunday in our state. And so I think this is the second time we have given out palliatives to our indigents, and we believe that for now, the next phase of COVID-19 is the phase of hunger. And we are very much on top of that situation. We have done that not only in the state capital, we've done it across all the local government areas in our state. And as I said in the last distribution, COVID-19 has no political face. It has no face of APC or PDP. And I directed that the palliatives be given to all residents and indigents of Bayelsa State, not minding the political parties.
Finally, Governor, what about the people on the front lines, the nurses, the doctors? Do you have enough personal protective equipment? Are the facilities fully equipped?
Yeah, for now we have just one index case, and we have procured a lot of PPEs, not only for our public hospitals, but even distributed to some private hospitals. And so for now, I think what we have is adequate, believing that this may be the first and the last case in Bayelsa State.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your time. The Executive Governor of Bayelsa State, Diri. Thank you for speaking to us on News Across Nigeria.